Is Stellantis betting a farm on a future consumers aren't ready for? It sure looks like it. According to 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, U.S. electric vehicle sales are struggling big time right now. Yet Stellantis is pouring $406 million into Michigan plants to ramp up production of electric trucks. Just a couple weeks ago, they laid off thousands of workers and slashed production of their iconic classic Ram. Yet it looks like they're gambling on the idea that Americans will eventually warm up to the EVs after this next recession. Let's talk about this one. All right, hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to check in real quick and share with you some of the latest updates out of the Motor City in reference to the auto manufacturing sector and how I've been documenting over the last several years activity in the Detroit area, just because, once again, I believe that, as the Motor City goes, so does the rest of the nation, just because we are the auto manufacturing hub for the country. And so just a couple weeks ago, I talked about Stellantis laying off, 2,500 or so individuals, and GM and everybody else bit by bit, dozens, hundreds, and then, equating to thousands of individuals laid off. But then again, they still, the car companies rather, continue to move forward with this agenda of going green and utilizing the electric vehicle, pathway that appears to be part of the system we're moving towards. But what caught my attention today rather was seeing Stellantis' latest move on investing into electric vehicles with, their first fully electric truck. At the same time that a lot of people have made their decision that they don't really want electric power. They would prefer to have horsepower. But then again, that's the system we're in. But just wanted to share some thoughts on this matter and keep you guys up to date on what's happening in the Detroit area, as well as get your take on things as well. So if you guys want to see more of these little quick takes, as always, definitely make sure you guys leave a comment so I know that you guys are finding value in these little short takes here. And then also make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, as well as the thumbs up, so algorithms know that you guys enjoy content like this. But so, one thing is clear at this current moment, but it's no secret that, the U.S. electric vehicle sales are not doing too well. And, the latest numbers from 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 confirms that completely. It says that these are expected to make up to just 9% of the market this year, a far cry from previous predictions of about 12% or so. And so the reason, of course, has a lot to do with the subject matter we cover on the channel here, which is basically high inflation, dwindling consumer spending power, and growing competition from gas-powered vehicles that Americans still prefer to have over these electric vehicles. And so to me, it seems very clear that, U.S. consumers are holding back on big purchases like EVs, especially when their wallets are being squeezed by all the, issues they're facing, such as rising living costs. Yet, despite these clear warning signs, Stellantis, who is a major player in the automotive world, is doubling down on electric vehicles with a hefty investment. One would think that they seem to be oblivious to the idea that economic conditions for consumers aren't the best right now. And this has everything to do with the article that came out this week saying that they're pouring money into building the Ram 1500 REV, their first fully electric vehicle, as well as a Ram Charger, which is a range extended hybrid model. And this move has everything to do with their Dare Forward 2030 agenda, which aims to make half of their U.S. passenger cars electric by the end of this decade here. As you see here, the announcement came in 2022 at Amsterdam. And a lot of the wording has a lot of similarities to what the World Economic Forum also revealed at around 2020. And just to give an idea of what I'm referring to here, it says it's bold strategic plan for the coming decade that will drive Stellantis employees to be second to none in value creation for all stakeholders. Stellantis commits to becoming the industry champion in the fight against climate change, reaching carbon net zero emissions by 2030. So between carbon net zero, the word climate change, stakeholders, those all appear to be words similar to what we've heard over the last couple of years from the World Economic Forum. I wonder. So at this current moment, not too surprising, but then again, like how bold and out front can you be? But, we're still in the middle of an economic downturn here. So, call it what you want. Will it be a recession, a slowdown, or whatever? But the fact remains that consumers are tapped out. And so wages aren't keeping up with inflation, and everyday cost of living is eating into discretionary spending big time. It's not so much that Americans don't really want EVs. They can't justify the hefty price tags when their finances are already stretched thin. Adding to this, automakers like Ford and General Motors have already scaled back their plans. Just to show you what I'm referring to here, it says Ford scales back EV plans citing price pressures. Ford scraps all electric SUV plans saying drivers want hybrids. And then here, General Motors is backing down on electric vehicles as well. And so the irony behind all this is kind of hard to miss because, Stellantis is laying off thousands of factory workers, cutting production at key plants, and yet somehow still funneling millions of EVs that aren't selling as fast as projected. The company recently announced at its Warren Truck Assembly plant, which has been producing the now discontinued Ram 1500 Classic as its key staple. But yet, let's face it, at the end of the day, I think this whole strategy that Stellantis is trying to pull off is a complete gamble. In the short term, it definitely will blow up in their face because we are not even in the first inning of this recession that I believe will become obvious in the next couple of weeks or so. And then at that point, who really will be looking to buy any type of vehicle, especially at these overpriced valuations at this current moment? So everything has to come down. But then again, at that point, who's going to have the funds to actually buy anything or be willing to buy anything? Because I don't know about you, I don't know for myself, I'm not flocking to buy an electric truck like a Ram 1500 REV or the electrified versions of the high-end Wagoneer unless it's on sale. But yet, at the end of the day, the only reason why Stellantis is willing to put up money to continue to work towards their Dare Forward 2030 agenda is because Uncle Sam is ponying up $521 million in grants to boost the charging networks. So that definitely makes things a lot easier if the government is behind setting up the infrastructure for the electric vehicles that may or may not be purchased at the end of the day. And so at the end of the day, the craziness still continues. These will still be pushed, even though people will not buy them at the pace that they're going to be created. But then again, when you subsidize by the United States government, I guess everything is okay. Because ultimately, if something goes wrong, just like the great financial crisis, the taxpayer's on the hook. So anyway, just taking a minute, share some thoughts with you, trying to just paint the picture as to what's really going on out here and how things may look one way on the surface, but underneath all of that, it's not making much sense at the end of the day. But curious to hear what you guys think. So if you found value here, definitely as always, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below so that I know this message resonates with whoever out there. But anyway, curious to hear your thoughts. Catch you guys later.